Get ready with me as I talk full moon, quantum leaps, and ghosts. I have so much to talk about, and I just want to preface this by saying, if you liked my relationship content with me and my cute husband, hop on over to my new account, mypersonpeptalk. That is where we are now continuing our conversation about relationships and dating and soulmates and things. But I feel like now this current page, unquietwoman, that y'all are following, is going to kind of harken back to its origin content, which is get ready with me videos, spirituality, leveling up, friendships, dating, relationships, things like that. I'm no longer dating, obviously, because I'm married, but I do think I can talk to the girlies out there dating just because I went through that whole thing and I have a lot to say about men and how they just kind of need to level up, all right? I'm still gonna say it because I myself have a good man, and so I can speak to what a good man looks like, that there are actually good men out there, and how the vast majority of men out there that are in the dating pool need to level up. Now listen, who saw the full moon the other night? Because my man and I were driving home from some event we went to, and the full moon was so low in the sky. It was huge. It was orange. It was commanding. Like, it had a commanding presence. Also, on the down low, I am having the weirdest, like, ovulation sensations with this full moon, coinciding with the full moon. I've always been a bloodwitch. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but it's like your period syncs with the moon. I have always been that type of a girly, and with my age and things, my period's been a little bit irregular, but I have to say something is going on in my womb because it is completely responding to the full moon. Like, I'm feeling myself ovulate. Like, I can feel the egg moving down the canal or whatever is happening. Listen, we weren't taught a lot about our bodies in the 80s and 90s, all right? I'm just going to say it. But something is happening and going on. Also, on a side note, this is such a Gemini air sign get ready with me video. Sorry, this is how I talk to my friends, though. So, which a whole nother tirade on friends coming in this get ready with me video. I feel like it's been so long since we've had one of these. Like, sorry if I'm just vomiting here all of the information and topics, but it's been so long since I've been doing a get ready with me video. So I'm loving it. Now listen, ever since I met my man and he has created such a sense of safety after being out on these streets with all these narcissistic men that the majority of women have to deal with, my womb is literally healing itself. Now, I had a friend who I started going to sound baths with and things earlier this year, and she was talking about this. She was saying she was doing a lot of womb healing, and I didn't really understand what she was talking about. I didn't know much about it. I feel like since I've been with my man and he's created such a sense of safety and we're in a monogamous relationship after being a dating girly single woman out on these streets, my womb is healing itself. And what that tells me is we do a lot of damage out there, sisters, on the streets by having experiences, which I'm not going to say that it's wrong to have experiences. I don't think it is. And I will tell my daughter this all the time, who's an adult and single women. You need to have sexual experiences because it helps you understand who you are. It helps you connect with your divine feminine. Like, I'm going to be the first one to say that. However, I would tell my daughter now, and any other single women out there that are having this dating experience and that are single, please be so choosy about who you invite into your most sacred divine portal, because I do truly believe now whoever you decide to allow that experience has an energy that they carry and they deposit that energy. And so you need to be super damn careful about who you allow in your womb, because your womb is a portal to the divine, and we need to have so much more sanctity around that and sacredness. And I think that's kind of where religious traditions are trying to steer us. Like, I think those were the origins of these religious traditions that, you know, promote abstinence. Like, I think they've missed the mark. I think it's more of a way to control women. But to be honest, like, we need to have more respect for our wombs as a portal to the divine as women and be super choosy about who is allowed access. Okay, I'm done with that rant. Now listen, the full moon. I have been having the most weird ass dreams. Last night I had a dream, this was the full moon night, of a bunch of people from my past coming in. And it was mainly women. There were some men from my past that came in, but they did not play a substantial leading role in my dreams. It was women. It was old friends that I've had. And I'm like, I woke up and I asked my husband, like, why did I have those dreams about old friends, like old friendships? It's so odd. And the more I was perusing around the app this morning, the more I was realizing that this full moon is asking us to purge old cycles even more. I mean, listen, every full moon does that, right? And we just had the Lionsgate portal, which facilitated bringing in our highest timeline, bringing in the dreams that we want to pursue, bringing in the new relationships, which in doing that, we must shed the old. We must shed the old. We cannot hold on to the old relationships and the old projects and the old things taking up all of our time if we want to call in the new, right? So like a natural part of the Lionsgate portal and calling in what you want is shedding layers, which is pretty much par for the course. However, I feel like this full moon is asking us to go even deeper. And just to get personal, I've talked before in this app, before I met my soulmate, and I'm going to even go even further in my history, before I healed, before I even met my soulmate, I was doing a ton of introspective healing work, inner child work, which, as y'all know that have been following me, you were here with me on that journey. And it was an amazing ride. And I'm still on it, man. I will be healing until the very last breath, right? We're all still healing. But I did a huge catalytic healing endeavor last summer. I healed my inner child. I started to recognize ways I played small, ways I was people pleasing. And so much of my life, and I've talked about this before, was centered around female friendships because I was always popular, and in my mind that gave me self-worth. In my mind, when I had a lot of friends around me and I had a big group, I had love and worth and support because I didn't have a lot of it in my family life. And so I was the Gemini out here that was helping all the people meet and throwing the big parties and being the center of the community, like organizing the community around myself, choosing people that I loved, being involved in friend groups that gave me self-esteem and worth and community. Well, now I'm realizing as I've healed that that's a crutch, that I need to develop that community within myself, and that a lot of these friendships and relationships that I've cultivated are not that healthy for me. Many of them are narcissistic. Many of them are taker personalities where they just take and they exploit the love that I give. Many of them are secret haters. I've had girlfriends throughout my life that I feel like I've just given and been so kind to, and all of a sudden they switch and turn on me, and I'm realizing it's because they were secret haters. And I could take it on myself, which I've done my whole life, and said, how did I fail? What's wrong with me? And I'm getting to the point in my healing where I'm like, nothing's wrong with me. The problem is that I have picked the same pattern of female friend over and over again, which is that taker narcissistic type that will eventually turn into a secret hater. You can never love a friend like that into loyalty. You just can't. They will eventually turn on you and hate you. And I'm realizing that I had a huge group of people like this in my life. And so this last year, I've really had to remove these people. I've had to really cleanse my space. And I hate that. It just sounds so callous and it sounds so I don't know. I don't like the way that sounds, but I have had to do that in my friendships and in my relationships because I'm realizing I just had a whole slew of people around me that didn't really love me, that didn't really want the best for me, that were secret haters, that were jealous, that were envious, that I had to play small around, that sucked all the emotional air out of the room, and we're just not doing that anymore. So a lot of this full moon, the dreams I had last night, was me facing those friendships and purging them. Okay, further purging them, working it out in my subconscious to let them go. Now listen, I am running out of time. We're at the 10-minute mark, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a part 2, get ready with me, because I feel like we have so much to talk about. So join me for part 2.